Should you even be dating right now? You could be a perfectly good person and still completely be unready to date. And I think a lot of people have a really time admitting that. Because when you see everybody around you getting into relationships, posting pictures together, going on dates, talking about who they're seeing, eventually you start wondering if you're falling behind. Maybe you're single right now and you hate it. Maybe there's somebody that you really like and you're trying to figure out, how do I get this person? Or maybe you just got out of a relationship and instead of actually dealing with what happened, you're already thinking, who are you going to date next? But before you do any of that, I think there's a much more important question you should be asking yourself. Should you even be dating right now? Not can you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or if somebody finds you attractive. I'm asking whether your life, your mindset, and the person you currently are can actually handle a healthy relationship. Because those two are completely different things. Getting into a relationship is easy compared to actually being ready for one. And I think a lot of people are chasing relationships for reasons they don't even fully understand. Sometimes you're not looking for a personal love. You're looking for proof that somebody wants you, and it's just not the same thing. Think about how much dating has become attached to people's self-worth. If somebody likes you, you suddenly feel attractive. If they text you back, you feel important. If they choose somebody else, now you feel like there's something wrong with you. So without realizing, you start using another human being as a scoreboard for how you feel about yourself. And it's a horrible position to put yourself in, because now every little thing that they do has power over you. They take a little longer to answer you, your mood changes. They seem a little distant, now you're replaying the exact same conversations in your head. Maybe they go out with you. Now you're checking stories, looking at who they're with, and wondering if something has happened. And eventually, you're just not enjoying the relationship anymore. You're monitoring it. Here, imagine having a bank account where every single dollar you own is controlled by somebody else's mood. If they're happy with you, you're rich. If they're upset with you, suddenly you're broke. You'd never willingly put all your money into an account like that. But emotionally, people do this all the time. If your entire confidence disappears the moment somebody doesn't want you, you probably don't need a relationship yet. You need to build a version of yourself that still exists where nobody is validating you. And that brings us to probably the easiest way to tell if you are ready to date. Look at what happens to your life when you start liking somebody. Do you keep doing the things you were already doing? Or does everything suddenly revolve around them? Because you see this happen constantly. A guy has friends, hobbies, he goes to the gym, he's working on something, and then he meets a girl that he likes, and within 2 weeks, his entire schedule somehow now belongs to her. He stops going out with his friends because she wants to hang. He stays awake until 3 in the morning talking even though he has something important the next day. He cancels plans the second she's available. And at first, it kind of feels romantic. You're thinking, man, I really like this person. But there's a difference between making room for somebody in your life and handing them your entire life. A relationship should be an addition. It should not become the building everything else is forced to live inside. And this goes both ways. If somebody you're dating expects you to abandon every goal, friendship, hobby, and responsibility just to prove that you care about them, that is extremely unhealthy. You should obviously be making sacrifices for somebody that you love. That's part of a serious relationship. But there's a massive difference between compromise and slowly deleting yourself. If 6 months into dating somebody you don't recognize your schedule, your priorities, or even your personality anymore, something is going wrong. And before you blame the other person completely, ask yourself an even harder question. Why did you let this happen? Why were you so willing to drop everything the second somebody gave you attention? And that's the part that's going over a lot of people's head. It's the part that went over mine when I was talking to other people also. You need to have boundaries before you get into a relationship. You cannot expect somebody else to build those things for you. Another thing you need to ask yourself is whether you actually want a relationship or whether you just hate being alone. Because loneliness will make anybody look compatible. You ever go grocery shopping when you're starving? Everything looks good. Stuff you would normally walk straight past starts looking amazing because you're not choosing them from a normal state anymore. You're choosing it because you're desperate to eat something. People do the exact same thing with relationships. You feel lonely for a couple months. You haven't gotten attention, you see couples everywhere, and then somebody shows the tiniest bit of interest in you. Now you're ignoring the things you would normally care about. You don't share the same values, maybe you don't have the same things in common. You start noticing things about them that really bother you, but you tell yourself, maybe this will work. And I've done this. I've been with somebody over the fact that I haven't wanted to be alone. But by doing this, you're causing a problem for the two of you. Being alone can feel uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable alone is better than becoming dependent on the wrong person just because you couldn't sit with yourself. It is okay to want connection. You should want people around you. You should want love. You should want somebody to trust and build your life with. But wanting somebody and needing somebody is completely different. Wanting love and needing another person to rescue you from your own life are completely different things. If you hate every second you're by yourself, a relationship doesn't actually fix the problem. It gives you something to distract yourself with. Then there's something else that I think people ignore when it comes to dating. Do you know where the relationship is heading? Do you know where you're going? You don't need your entire life figured out. A lot of us don't, but you should at least have some direction. Your plans matter. Let's say you're 19, you want to move all over the country in 2 years. You want to go all in on a career that's going to take most of your time. Maybe you want to travel or you want to build something. And then you get seriously involved with somebody whose dream is the complete opposites of yours. Neither of you is wrong, but love doesn't magically erase incompatible features. Sometimes two perfectly good people are just walking in totally different directions. Imagine two people getting in the same car without deciding where they're going. One person thinks they're driving north, the other one south. For the first 20 minutes, everything might feel fine. The music might be good, you might be laughing, the drive might be enjoyable. Eventually, somebody has to ask, where is this car going? And that is why having some kind of vision for your own life matters. You need to know enough about yourself to know what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not. And if right now to every question about your future is basically, I don't know, whatever my partner wants, you haven't built your own direction yet. Another test that I think a bunch of people don't even think about is how do you even handle conflicts? Because anybody could be a great boyfriend or girlfriend when everything is going good. That's the easy part. She's happy, you're happy, nobody's jealous, nobody's stressed, nothing has happened. Of course you're getting along. But what happens when you're angry? What happens when somebody tells you no? Do you insult them? Do you threaten them to leave every time you argue? Maybe you disappear for 3 days because you're upset. These are things that you need to know about before you actually get into a relationship. You don't need perfect emotional control. Again, nobody has that, but you need enough maturity to understand that being hurt doesn't give you permission to hurt somebody else. Now, I don't want the message of this video to get twisted. I'm not telling you that you need to become rich, shredded, completely confident, emotionally perfect, and have your entire future planned before anybody is allowed to love you. Again, that's ridiculous. If that were the requirement, almost nobody would date. A good relationship can help you grow. The right person can support you when things get difficult. They can point out flaws you didn't see in yourself, introduce you to new ideas, and make normal days enjoyable. It is a beautiful thing, but there's a difference between growing with somebody and expecting somebody to grow for you. Your partner can't give you discipline. They can't give you purpose, permanently fix your confidence. They can't give you self-respect. And they definitely cannot turn a life you hate into a life you suddenly love just by being inside of it. That is your responsibility. So, back to the question, should you even be dating right now? And I think the actual answer is pretty simple. Look at your reason for wanting a relationship. Are you interested in somebody because you genuinely like who they are? Or are you just terrified of being single? Can you make time for another person without abandoning everything you have been building? Do you have your own friends, your own interests, and some other kind of direction outside of dating? Most importantly, if this person disappeared from your life tomorrow, would you still know who you are? Because if the answer to those questions is no, dating isn't what you need right now. That doesn't mean you're behind or that nobody will ever want you. It just means that there might be some work that you need to do before asking another person to share your life with you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me down below your guys' relationship problems, you know, like maybe we could all talk to each other down in the comment sections and maybe comfort each other. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.